It's time to preview what could be a very ugly game for Arizona State as they face the USC Trojans tonight. We're breaking it down in this edition of the Locked On Sun Devils podcast.
You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Richie Bradshaw, and I will be your guide for everything Arizona State Sun Devils. Thanks as always for tuning in and making us your first listen of the day. And of course, a shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Wherever you get your podcast, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. Stay in touch with that content by following me on Twitter. You can find me at RichieBrads36 and the podcast as well at LO_Sun Devils. These days, every potential new hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Terms and conditions apply. Guys, I'm not going to front with you. This is not going to be a good game. And quite frankly, if you are a diehard Sun Devils fan, you're not going to like this podcast. At this point, it's not even being negative. You are going up against the 5th ranked team in the nation. There is not much to be confident with for the Sun Devils. They haven't scored a point in 6 consecutive quarters. They're 1-2 on the year, including a loss to Fresno State, and they barely squeaked by Southern Utah 24-21 in week 1. This is not a team that is built to beat USC. Call it as it is. I love the Sun Devils. I bleed maroon and gold, and I will die on a hill defending my Sun Devils. This is not a game that we're winning, and if we do, oh my God, I'll shave my beard. If we beat USC, I will shave my beard. It's not happening. I hope it does. I truly do, but it's not happening. But what we're here to do today is break down this game. We're doing it like we always do. We're going to look at the offense and defensive side of the football for the Sun Devils, flip it to the USC Trojans, look at the players to watch for them, and then close it out with bold predictions and a score prediction as well. Let's go ahead and start with the offense. And it really just circles around Drew Pyne. Drew Pyne is the starter for the game. Trenton Bourguet is out. Jaden Rashada is out. Jacob Conover will be the primary backup there. All eyes are going to be on Pyne. And by all accounts, it was about the worst debut that you could possibly have in college football at any program, like Power 5 or like Division 3. This was atrocious. 4 turnovers, could have been 5. Took 3 sacks and lost the ball on all 3. 2 really bad interceptions. Was just 5 of 13 passing. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So with that in mind, there's nowhere to go but up, right? What you're looking for this week is just that he's taking steps forward. Even if it means he's turning over the ball 3 times instead of 4. Even if it means he's going from 38.5% completion to 45% to 50%. You just want to know that he's not stuck where we saw him last week. You want to see that he's able to take those steps forward. And he's going to have a full arsenal. Jalen Conyers is back this week. I anticipate he's going to have a really nice game. At least I really hope he does. He still has Elijah Badger. He still has Xavier Guillory. He still has Cameron Scadaboo. There are weapons here for Drew Pyne to use. And I think that if you give him a full 60 minutes, that he's going to be able to use them. These are guys that I wouldn't say they're quarterback proof, but they lift up their quarterbacks and they help to get the best out of whoever is throwing them the rock. So as long as Drew Pyne can put it in their zip code, and I am beyond confident that he can, he is a good passer. He had a really rough week. You're hoping that it was just first-time jitters and it's out of him. Because otherwise, I do believe in Drew Pyne to be a confident passer. So if he can get it within arm's reach of these receivers, they'll figure it out. They will be fine. For the rest of the guys, you just want to see the one-on-one matchups. You want to see Badger can win deep and maybe unlock the deep ball, which is something that the Sun Devils have struggled to get going this year. You would love to see if Conyers can finally establish some dominance. He is yet to really get going this year. 6 catches, 68 yards. You would like him to be on his A game, especially if you plan to compete in this game. Badger mentioned that. The deep ball, same thing for Guillory. Would love to see the run game get back on track. We'll see, because I just don't know how long you stick with the run game if you start to get down on the scoreboard pretty quickly. Defensively, what's your game plan for Caleb Williams? You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. And for the Sun Devils, I just don't know what that looks like. Is it holding him to 4 touchdowns instead of 8? Is it holding him under 500 passing yards? What are we looking at? Whatever it is, you need to have a plan dialed up. Now, if there's one thing that the Sun Devils have shown me this year that I am beyond confident with, it's Brian Ward and the defense. They have played outstanding football. By all accounts, the Sun Devils could very easily have lost each of these games 30 to whatever they put on the scoreboard. They have really benefited from the defense and how they've been able to perform in these games thus far. There's a pass rush. They're not getting the turnovers just yet. We're still waiting on that first interception, but they're figuring it out. They're slowly but surely turning into a very good unit, with Jordan Clark leading the charge and becoming the leader of the entire team, let alone the defense. There's a lot of good that's going on with the defense right now. So you're really hoping that that's going to continue to be the case, and that in a game where you're going up against probably the best offense in all of college football, that you can find a way to show some positives and maybe slow them down. Last year, USC won 42-25. The defense wasn't the best out there. It definitely felt like the offense kind of did its thing. But Caleb Williams didn't have this superstar performance. He had a very good performance. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, you can't stop Caleb Williams. You can only hope to contain him. They found a way to be able to do things against him that other teams hadn't. Caleb Williams didn't throw an interception heading into that game. Tamarcus Davis picked him off in the end zone. Caleb Williams once again enters this game with no interceptions on the year. Who knows? Maybe the Sun Devils can do it again. But what you want to see out of these guys is that no matter what happens, that they continue to fight and go blow for blow. Honestly, even if they give up 70, you just don't want to see these guys play defeated, play with lackadaisical effort. You want them to compete for 60 minutes. If they lose the hope early on in this game and they don't try their hardest, Lord knows it's going to be a very long game, longer than the Fresno State game was. But if they find a way to grit it out and just show, Steve Rogers before he got the serum in Captain America, just, I can do this all day. That's what you want to see out of your defense, man. You just want to know that they're willing and able and confident enough to be able to square up with USC. No matter what they give up, seriously, they could give up 50, 60, 70 points. We're anticipating it to happen, truly. And it wouldn't necessarily be on the defense if they're trying their hardest. But again, if they're out there totally just flying around and being whatever, then yeah, this is going to be a really disappointing performance. But if they go out there and they fight hard, the way that we have seen them through the first 3 games of the year, even if they get 42 hung on them, you take it. You take it and run. You just are looking for the small victories in this game. You're looking for any kind of moral victories. That would be probably the biggest moral victory that I can think of, would be for this Sun Devils team to come out of this game defensively, knowing that they have been able to find a way to grit it out and just not even stack the odds in their favor. Bottom line, you just want the defense to show that they're up to a challenge. They're not going to back down from anybody, that kind of logic. And then you want to see Drew Pyne is able to start minimizing those turnovers as well. These days, every potential new hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you need to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. You can do this in minutes and make sure that you know exactly the people you were trying to get a hold of. Once you do that, add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on the candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. And as you know, as a small business owner, the right team member can have a positive and measurable impact on your business. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Also want to talk to you guys about our friends over at DoorDash because you have trusted them to deliver your restaurant's favorite foods, and now you can get them to deliver your groceries too. With thousands of grocery stores to choose from, you'll find the best in your neighborhood and boost your local economy with each and every order. You'll get exactly what you ordered, or we'll make it right. So sit back and enjoy quality groceries just like you picked them up yourself. Want even more? You can save all your grocery and restaurant favorites with a $0 fee on all eligible orders with a Dash Pass membership. With easy substitutions right in the app and best-in-class customer support, DoorDash delivers groceries exactly how you want it. Get 50% off your first DoorDash order up to a $20 value when you use code LOCKEDONCollege at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply. That's 50% off up to $20, no minimum total, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code LOCKEDONCollege. Don't forget, that's code LOCKEDONCollege for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Thanks as always, guys, for tuning in. Wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you get an update whenever we post new content. If you're looking for the best college content as you get ready to kick off your week, next Friday, tune in to the Locked On College Football Kickoff Live. They go live from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern on every Locked On College YouTube channel. They cover playoff implications, the conference rivalry games, and go in depth like only Locked On can provide, including insights and analysis from a stable of Locked On College hosts covering their team every day. Find Locked On College Football Kickoff Live every Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern on any Locked On College YouTube channel. You won't want to miss it. It's the best coverage you can get. Let's talk some USC Trojans, and goodness gracious, there's a lot to talk about. I narrowed down my list to 3 players. You could talk about a lot more than that. It all starts with Caleb Williams. And I don't want to waste too much time talking about Caleb Williams, because if you don't know about Caleb Williams, you're sleeping under a rock or you've never watched a college football game. This dude is like the messiah of college football. I mean, he is seriously the next coming of insert quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Luck, John Elway, whatever. He is that guy. He does everything. He can run. He's got a cannon. He can improvise, make those off-script throws. He fits tight windows. He scores at a high rate. He doesn't turn the ball over. He has a high completion percentage. Whatever it is you're looking for, Caleb Williams has it. He is so beyond special. Arizona State's going to need to find a way to minimize him. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. I've said that on this podcast probably twice, maybe 3 times now. It is so true, though. And unfortunately, with the stable of weapons he has, this is not going to be likely. I chose one receiver to highlight out of the dozens that they have. Not literal dozens, but they do have half dozen guys. I'm choosing Zachariah Branch. Branch is their freshman all-star, 5-star recruit, the #1 receiver in this year's class. Dude is a freaking rock star, man. On a year, only has 9 catches, 110 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but he is one of the most electrifying playmakers they have. Keep in mind, even though he only has 9 catches, he's tied for second on the team, one behind Mario Williams, who leads the team. They're spreading the ball out very well. And Zachariah Branch is one of those guys who is just able to create so much once he gets the ball in his hands. Like, he is just so electric with everything he does. He's somebody that scares the you-know-what out of me. The way that he can make a guy miss and then just break open a big run in the open field. He is terrifying to me. Obviously, they got lots of guys. Taj Washington's their leading receiver. He's averaging almost 26 yards per catch. Deuce Robinson, the tight end, even though ESPN lists him as a receiver, is also averaging over 23 yards a catch. They just mix it up. Brandon Rice, Dorian Singer, Mario Williams. It's just like a who's who for pass catchers on this team. They are going to get the job done. But Zachariah Branch is the one that I will be paying closest attention to. Defensively, they got a handful of guys out there that are pretty solid. I know Solomon Byrd is the one who's leading them in sacks currently with 2.5. Bear Alexander is the one I'll be paying attention to. Former 5-star defensive tackle. Played at Georgia last year, decided to transfer to USC for some more playtime. So far on the year, has 7 tackles and a half sack. I am very nervous to play him, just knowing the pure talent that he has. And then looking at what we have on the offensive line, he is a beast. He's an absolute beast. He makes me really, really nervous. And I also want to highlight, it just came to me as I was doing this just now. So if I said 3, I am adding 1, and that's Kalen Bullock. He is their safety. He has been receiving first-round pick draft hype. Superstar. Absolute superstar. Doesn't have an interception on the year, but has 7 interceptions in his first 2 seasons. On a year right now, he's got 12 tackles, and he's already broken up 4 passes. 6'3", 190, do-it-all safety. He's going to find a way to make plays, and Arizona State's going to want to avoid him as much as possible. So jersey number 7 on the defensive side of the football is someone that you probably would be better off just avoiding entirely as much as you possibly can. This is going to be a very, very talented defense to try and go up against, to try and counter. The offense obviously is borderline unstoppable. It's just going to be a mess for the Sun Devils. These are just a handful of the guys that they're going to need to watch out for in this game. The NFL season is here. Snap back into action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is easy to use with a wide variety of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. One more time, wherever you get your podcasts, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We will be back all next week, potentially tomorrow. I'll definitely have a reaction up tomorrow to the game. Maybe a podcast. If not, it'll be up on Monday for sure. Let's do some bold predictions. Final score prediction. Get out of here. You guys aren't going to like my final score. I'm telling you that right now. Bold predictions. Keep the expectations low. I'm going to say Drew Pyne cuts his turnovers in half and only turns it over twice in this game. You just, like I said earlier, you just want to see positive progression with Drew Pyne. You're not looking for him to throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's unrealistic. You're not looking for him to even necessarily be like 60 to 65% completion for 250 and 3 touchdowns. That's more realistic, but you don't need to see that in order to start seeing improvement. You just want to know that he's taking those steps forward. Cutting not even interceptions, the turnovers, cutting them in half is a big win. Even if he doesn't score a touchdown, Going from 4 turnovers and 5 drives to 2 turnovers over the course of 60 minutes is a win. Just understand, Sun Devil fans, the bar needs to be low. It's a classic saying of undersell, overdeliver. Hopefully, Drew Pyne is able to have a great game, but we shouldn't be expecting him to come out and be a superstar. Understand that this is a work in progress, and Drew Pyne was absolutely rattled last week against, oh God, who we play? Fresno State. USC is a different kind of animal. Lower the expectations. Other offensive prediction, I'm going to say ASU scores 2 touchdowns. ASU has been held out of the end zone and held out of getting any points for 6 consecutive quarters. I'm saying that ends in this game. I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe it's 2 rushing touchdowns. Maybe it's 1-1. Maybe it's 2 passing touchdowns. Maybe Jalen Conyers gets in the end zone. Maybe Drew Pyne rushes for 2 touchdowns. I don't know. But what I do think is the Sun Devils are going to get 2 touchdowns in this game. Maybe it's the first 2 drives of the game. Maybe it's the last 2 drives of the game. I don't know. What I believe is that the Sun Devils cannot continue to be held out of the end zone, held without getting points. It's going to break eventually. And even if it's towards the end of the game when USC is pulling their starters, you just want to get in the end zone, man. That is all you're looking for. Just find a way to start scoring some points, build any kind of confidence, and just proceed forward, okay? That's what you want. Move forward. Stay positive. 2 touchdowns is my prediction on offense. Going to the defense, we did it last year. We're going to do it again this year. Arizona State gets the first interception of the season from Caleb Williams. Not only the first interception off of Caleb Williams this year, but also the first interception for the Sun Devils defense. I'm going to say is coming in this game against the best player in college football. Call me crazy. I'm just saying we do it again. We did it last year. Why not again? The secondary is better this year than it was last year. Tamarcus Davis got the interception last year. Ro Torrance has really asserted himself as a top dog. You still have Ed Woods. You still have D Ford, Jordan Clark, Chris Edmonds, Shamari Simmons. I think I said D Ford, Mason Williams. There's plenty of guys to be able to cause those turnovers. I have this sneaky feeling that we're going to get an interception in this game. It'll be the first of the season for us, and it'll be the first of the season for Caleb Williams. I'm not a betting man. That's not true, but I'm not. I feel froggy about this one. I really do. I'm kind of keeping my hopes up for this one. Last bold prediction on defense, I'm going to say that the run defense does a good job, but the pass defense is torn apart. Let me explain. I love our secondary. I think the secondary is the biggest strength on defense. I don't think it's close. I think the secondary is one of the biggest strengths for the team in general. However, you're going up against Caleb freaking Williams. No matter how good your coverage is, eventually it's going to break down. Unless the pass rush gets to Caleb like 7 times, he's just going to find guys. He can improvise unscripted plays, unscheduled throws. He gets out of the pocket. And once he gets out, look at all the receivers he has that are smart enough to break off their routes and just find a way to get open. You can only hold your coverage for so long, and they're just going to get picked apart. And I don't think that is detrimental of this secondary being bad. Quite the opposite. I think that this is a very good secondary that's going to get tested. The only problem is when Caleb Williams is in the pocket for 5-6 seconds, there's only so much you can do, man. That's where I'm at with it. It's not a bad thing for them to get torn up in this game because you're expecting it. Final score prediction, close your eyes, cover your ears. USC is winning this game convincingly. I got them 45-14. I'm not happy about it. It's not what I want. I am very adamant that this is a tough game. This is the toughest game that ASU will have all year. USC is just an absolute buzzsaw right now on offense. And if they can get the defense going, I just don't see how Arizona State has a chance. Again, I hope I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, reiterating, I'll shave the beard. I will shave the beard I'll put it up on social media, all that good stuff if we find a way to win this game. Absolutely. I will be rooting for the Sun Devils no matter what. I hope that you guys are too. And I know this game is sold out, but I'm more than conscious enough to know that a lot of those sold out tickets are going to be USC fans. All I ask is if you're at the game, cheer as loud as you possibly can. They need your support more than ever. I want to know what your guys' bold predictions are. I want to know what your score prediction is. But as always, I thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever you get your podcast, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. You can stay in touch with that content by following me on Twitter at Richie Bradshaw36 and the podcast as well at LO_Sun Devils. I will see you guys soon to break down this game. Till then, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun Devils.